Have you ever stopped to really look at a dollar bill, or a euro, or any piece of paper money? It's not just a piece of paper with a number on it, it's a tiny masterpiece of design and engineering. Every single year, countries around the world print billions upon billions of new banknotes. The United States alone prints enough to wrap around the earth multiple times. It's a massive operation, and it all starts not with a printing press, but with a simple idea and a sketch. This is where the magic begins, turning a concept into something we all trust and use every day. So, how do they do it? Let's dive in and break down the incredible process of making money. The first step is all about the design. This is super important for two big reasons. First, a country's money is a reflection of its identity. It's a story told on a tiny canvas. The people, landmarks, and symbols chosen for a banknote say a lot about a nation's history, its values, and its pride. Think about the presidents on US dollars, the famous bridges on the euro notes, or the incredible animals on Costa Rican colones. Each image is carefully selected to represent something significant about that country. It's a way for a nation to put its best foot forward right in your pocket. This design process can take years of discussion and debate, but design isn't just about looking good. It's the first and most important line of defense against counterfeiters. The artists and engineers who design money are constantly thinking, how can we make this incredibly difficult to copy? They build security right into the artwork itself. The lines are incredibly fine, the patterns are complex, and the colors blend in ways that are very hard for a normal printer to replicate. They use special software to create intricate geometric patterns, called guilloche, that are almost impossible to draw by hand or scan accurately. It's a cat and mouse game, and the designers are always trying to stay one step ahead. This brings us to the technology. While some initial ideas might start with a pencil and paper, modern banknote design relies heavily on high-tech computers and software. Designers create digital models of the bill, allowing them to layer different elements on top of each other. They can test how different colors will look, place hidden security features, and see a three-dimensional preview of what the final product will feel like. This digital blueprint is incredibly detailed. It contains all the information needed for the printing plates down to the micrometer. It's where art meets science in the most amazing way, setting the stage for the entire production process. Now, let's talk about the foundation of every banknote, the paper itself. But here's the thing, it's not really paper, at least not the kind you use in your school notebook. If you've ever accidentally washed a dollar bill in your jeans, you know it doesn't fall apart like a piece of regular paper would. That's because it's made from a special blend of materials, usually cotton and linen. This blend gives it that distinct, crisp feel and makes it incredibly durable. It's built to survive being folded, crumpled, and passed through thousands of hands without tearing. This unique material is one of the first things that makes real money feel different from a fake. The creation of this special substrate, that's the technical term for it, is a highly guarded secret. Only a few companies in the world are authorized to produce it, and they work under extremely tight security. During the manufacturing process, they embed security features directly into the material itself. One of the most common is the security thread. This is a thin polymer or metal strip that's woven into the paper. If you hold a US $20 bill up to the light, you can see this thread running vertically through it. On newer notes, these threads can even have tiny text or images on them, making them even harder to fake. Another amazing feature built into the paper is the watermark. This isn't printed on the surface. It's created by varying the thickness of the paper during its formation. When you hold a bill up to a light source, a faint image appears, like a ghost of the main portrait. On a US bill, you'll see a smaller version of the president's face. On a euro note, you might see an architectural design. Because the watermark is part of the paper itself, it's not something a counterfeiter can just print on. It has to be made from the very beginning, adding another layer of complexity that protects the money's integrity. Before this special paper ever gets near a printing press, it goes through a rigorous inspection. Every single sheet is checked for imperfections. Experts and machines scan for flaws in the watermarks, ensure the security threads are in the correct position, and check for any discoloration or weakness in the material. If a sheet isn't absolutely perfect, it's rejected and destroyed. This quality control is non-negotiable. The foundation has to be flawless before they can start building the final product on top of it. It's all about ensuring that every bill that goes out is strong, secure, and ready for its long journey. Once the perfect paper is ready, it's time for the main event printing. This isn't like running a document through your office printer. This is a multi-stage high-tech process that adds layers of detail and security. The first step is called offset printing. This is where the big, broad strokes of color are applied. Think of it as the background of the painting. Giant printing presses lay down subtle, blended colors that form the basic look and feel of the note. These colors are often printed on both sides of the sheet at the same time to ensure they line up perfectly. This perfect registration, where the front and back designs align exactly, is another subtle security feature. Next comes the star of the show, intaglio printing. This is what gives money its unique raised feel. The process is incredible. First, the design of the note, the portrait, the numbers, the main text, is engraved into a thick metal plate. This isn't a flat image, it's carved into the metal. The plate is then covered in a thick special ink and then wiped clean, leaving ink only in the engraved grooves. When a sheet of banknote paper is pressed against this plate with immense force, we're talking tons of pressure, it squeezes the paper into the grooves, pulling the ink out and creating a raised, three-dimensional texture on the surface. You can feel it with your fingernail. This intaglio process is the secret sauce of banknote printing. It's what makes the portrait of Queen Elizabeth on a British pound or Abraham Lincoln on a US $5 bill feel so detailed and textured. This texture is incredibly difficult for counterfeiters to replicate. A regular printer lays ink flat on the surface, but intaglio printing actually changes the structure of the paper itself. It's a combination of sculpture and printing, and it requires specialized, expensive machinery that is far beyond the reach of most criminals. This is why that raised ink is one of the key things people are told to check for when identifying a fake bill. Some modern banknotes add another layer of complexity with features like screen printing. This is used to apply very specific, often optically variable features. For example, the number in the corner of a US $50 bill changes color from copper to green when you tilt it. This color-shifting ink is applied in a separate, precise step. Similarly, the shiny holograms or foil patches you see on euros or Mexican pesos are applied with heat and pressure. Each of these layers adds more visual complexity and security, creating a final product that is a symphony of different printing techniques, all working together to create something beautiful and secure. After the main designs are printed, each sheet of notes is still just a collection of identical images. They need one more thing to make them official and unique: a serial number. This is a critical step. No two banknotes from the same series can have the same serial number. This unique identifier is like a name for each bill, allowing it to be tracked and verified. A special printing press, called a numbering machine, applies these serial numbers to each note on the sheet. This machine is designed to advance the number by one for each impression, ensuring every single bill gets its own distinct code. This numbering process is also where other official marks are added. On US currency, you'll see the Treasury seal and the Federal Reserve System seal. These are printed with incredible precision using special inks. The seals are symbols of the note's authenticity, a stamp of approval from the government that guarantees its value. The combination of the unique serial number and these official seals transforms the printed sheet from a piece of art into a legitimate piece of currency. It's the final stamp that says, "This is real money." But some of the most fascinating features added at this stage are the ones you can't even see. Many countries use inks that are only visible under specific conditions. For example, some parts of a banknote might be printed with ink that glows brightly under ultraviolet light. If you hold a modern euro note under a UV lamp, you'll see stars and fibers light up in brilliant colors that are invisible in normal daylight. This is a fantastic security feature because most counterfeiters don't have access to these special fluorescent inks, making it an easy way for cashiers and machines to spot a fake. In addition to UV inks, some banknotes use magnetic inks. This is especially common in the serial numbers or in specific black ink areas of the design. While you can't feel the magnetism, specialized machines can. High-speed currency counters and vending machines use magnetic readers to verify that a bill is authentic. They can detect the presence and pattern of the magnetic ink, rejecting any bill that doesn't have the correct magnetic signature. It's an invisible shield, a secret language spoken between the banknote and the machines designed to read it, adding one more powerful hidden layer of security. The sheets of money have now been printed with intricate designs, raised ink, and unique serial numbers. They look almost ready. But before they can be cut and sent out into the world, they must pass through one of the most intense quality control processes imaginable. This is where every single note is scrutinized to ensure it is absolutely perfect. The first line of inspection is automated. The large, uncut sheets are fed through a high-tech computer system that scans them at incredible speeds. This system is called the Currency Inspection System. This machine is a marvel of technology. It uses advanced cameras and sensors to analyze every square millimeter of the sheet. It checks for printing errors like smudges, smears, or areas where the color is slightly off. It verifies that the front and back designs are perfectly aligned. It reads the serial numbers to make sure there are no duplicates or skips in the sequence. It even checks the security features like the security thread and the watermark to ensure they are present and correctly positioned. If the computer detects even the tiniest flaw on a sheet, that entire sheet is flagged and rejected, but the machines don't have the final say. After the automated inspection, a team of highly trained human inspectors takes over. These experts examine the sheets that the computer has approved, looking for subtle imperfections that a machine might miss. They use their eyes, their hands, and sometimes magnifying glasses to check the quality of the intaglio printing, feeling for the right texture, and looking for any breaks in the fine lines. They are trained to spot the slightest variation in color or detail. It's a job that requires incredible focus and an eye for detail, as they are the last line of defense against a flawed bill entering circulation. Any sheet that fails inspection, whether flagged by the computer or a human inspector, is immediately taken out of the production line. But it's not just thrown in the trash. The security around these rejected sheets is just as tight as it is for the perfect ones. Every single rejected sheet is accounted for and then completely destroyed, usually by shredding it into tiny, unrecognizable pieces. This strict accounting ensures that no imperfect or unauthorized money can ever leave the facility. Only the sheets that pass this grueling, multi-layered inspection process are deemed worthy of becoming real currency. We've reached the final steps of production. The flawless sheets of money, having passed every inspection, are now ready for the last transformation. They are still in large sheets, often containing 32 or 50 notes each. The next step is to cut them into the individual bills that we recognize. This is done by a large, incredibly precise cutting machine. The stacks of approved sheets are loaded in, and with a series of powerful guillotine-style blades, the machine slices them first into horizontal strips, and then into individual notes. The accuracy of this machine is critical. Each bill must be cut to the exact same dimension. Once the bills are cut, they are automatically stacked and gathered into bundles. Typically 100 individual notes are stacked together and bound with a paper band. These stacks are known as straps. Then, 10 of these straps are bundled together to form a bundle of 1,000 notes. Finally, multiple bundles are shrink-wrapped together into a brick, which contains several thousand notes. This entire process is highly automated to ensure accuracy and efficiency. Each brick is labeled and logged, its serial numbers recorded, ready for the next stage of its journey. Now in their final form, the bricks of new money are moved to highly secure vaults. These aren't your average bank vaults. They are massive, fortified storerooms protected by thick steel doors, advanced alarm systems, and 24/7 surveillance. The security here is, as you can imagine, immense. The money is carefully inventoried and stored until it is needed. The journey from a designer's sketch to this vault can take months, and at every step, the process is defined by precision, security, and control. The bricks wait here, a silent testament to the incredible manufacturing process they have just completed. Finally, how does this money get to you? When commercial banks need more cash for their customers, they place an order with their country's central bank, like the Federal Reserve in the US or the European Central Bank. The new money is then transported from the printing facility's vaults to the regional central bank vaults in armored trucks under heavy guard. From there it is distributed to the commercial banks, which then stock their ATMs and fill the drawers for their tellers. The next time you pull a crisp new bill from an ATM, take a moment to look at it. You're holding the end result of an amazing journey of art, science, and security. Now go look at the money in your own country. What stories does it tell?